Hey guys, what's up? It's the Dominator here, and in the wake of Shawn Rhoden's surprising victory at the 2018 Mr. Olympia, it seems like a lot of people believe that the IFBB has finally opened their eyes and started punishing the bloated bellies, instead electing to reward more shapely looking physiques with tapered midsections. In my opinion, it's still too early to say whether this is true or not. For all we know, this could be something of a fluke. Now, hold on, hear me out. I'm not suggesting Rhoden wasn't deserving of the title. I think we can all agree the package that he brought this year was something special. He was chiseled like a statue with beautiful lines, a great structure, and the confident stage presence of a champion. So even though I've already gone on record as stating that Phil probably should have still won based on the way they've historically judged this event in the past, I think that it would be foolish to call this a robbery or say that Shawn didn't deserve it. In any case, this video is not meant to dispute the outcome. The purpose here is to ask ourselves why he won. What was the underlying reason? Was it the midsection? I don't think so. At least that's not the only reason. You don't win an Olympia with just a great set of abs, or else a lot of these men's physique guys could come in and steal the show at any given moment. It goes without saying that you need a certain level of mass and density to be competitive in the open division. Was it the aesthetics? Perhaps, but I'm really not convinced. If Shawn hadn't come in fully peeled, there's no way he would have pulled off the upset against the seven-time defending champ, Phil Heath. So to be honest, I think that it comes down to conditioning more than anything. Of course, Phil's gut was a huge flaw, we all know that, and standing next to a more streamlined bodybuilder with washboard abs hurt him even more. But if Shawn wasn't right there in terms of conditioning, it wouldn't have mattered. The reason I say this is because the Sandow has almost always gone to the guy with the best definition, provided he doesn't get dwarfed out there and wasn't missing too many body parts. Sure, there were a couple years there in the mid-2000s where Ronnie and Jay seemed to prevail on the basis of sheer size alone, but those were anomalies in the grand scheme of things. So here's some food for thought. A lot of fans, myself included, thought that when Dexter Jackson triumphed back in 2008, that this now signaled a change in the sport where the judges favored smaller but more aesthetic physiques, perhaps having grown tired after the last 15 years or so of freaky mass monsters. But look how that all turned out. It proved to be nothing more than a one-off, with Jay Cutler coming in more ripped than ever the very next year and seizing the throne right back. Not only that, but Branch Warren, of all people, beat Dexter as well. And I think we all know Branch is one of the least aesthetic top bodybuilders in recent memory. And we can go back even further if you want. For all you old school fans who bring up Frank Zane or Arnold Schwarzenegger, I challenge you. Did they really win because of their aesthetics? In Arnold's case, I think the answer is most certainly not. While there's no denying that Arnold possessed a highly appealing physique with superhero-like proportions, was he really more aesthetic than Serge Nubret in 1973? How about Sergio Oliva in 72? You could argue he was, but I would counter that it was merely coincidental. Arnold won because he was the most fully developed and well-defined bodybuilder of his era. His aesthetics were obviously a nice bonus, but that's all they were. They weren't the primary reason he became a seven-time Mr. Olympia. I suspect that the same probably holds true even for Frank Zane. Were his 3 victories during the late 70s really the result of his renowned aesthetics, or was it because he was simply the best conditioned athlete on stage at the time? I'm actually not certain myself, as I would need to go back and examine these years in detail, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the conditioning element that really put him over the top. I think the situation we face now with Rhoden is eerily similar to what transpired in 2008, where Dexter only defeated Jay Cutler because Jay came in off 2 times in a row. No offense to the Blade, but if Jay had been in better shape, Dexter wouldn't have stood much chance, given all the extra size and superior lower body of Cutler. Likewise, I think it's safe to say that if Phil had come in just a little sharper like he usually does, and without the distended midsection, Rhoden would have stood no chance. Hell, we've already seen the way this scenario plays out in 2015 and 2016. In fact, a lot of current bodybuilders have beaten Flexitron at the Olympia before, so to be perfectly honest, I think that Shawn Rhoden is now the most vulnerable first-time champ we've seen since Dexter in '08. So just to reiterate, I believe the main reason Rhoden won was because he was the best conditioned bodybuilder on stage from head to toe when you factor in the midsection, and not because he happened to be the most aesthetic. To think of it another way, if Rolly or even Big Ramy really nail their conditioning 100% in 2019, either one of them could easily, on paper, become the next Mr. Olympia. They both have the tools to get the job done, but neither is exactly what you would call highly aesthetic. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I think it's great to see a shapely Olympia champion for a change with a classic contour, but I don't think that's what earned him the distinction of being just the 14th man in history to hoist the Sandow Trophy. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts on the matter below, and feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, I'm the Tominator signing off, and I'll be back.